Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? Sorry, my cards are all messed up here somehow when I shuffled them. All right, so I'm just double checking that you can see this. I've been changing the readings up a little bit. Here we go. So we're going to talk about the underlying energy is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a reward from the divine and the universe. I'm saying a cup of love is coming your way. This is a divine cup, someone that is that it will be a peaceful relationship, overflowing with love and everlasting. So this is destined to be like a divine partner that is perfect for you. Then if you're not looking for love, this can represent possibly something you love to do or be. And then we have the Death card. So the Death card is talking about a transition. People get afraid when they see this card, but it's actually just representing a significant change. One cycle ending, a new cycle beginning, death and rebirth. The Grim Reaper is riding into town, and this older person is trying to convince him to turn around and, can I give you money? What can I give you? Just don't come through here. And the Grim Reaper's like, move out of my way. And the younger two here, one of them is actually wants to give the Grim Reaper a flower. And this is talking about the young ones are like happy to have the change come into town. If you've ever lived in a small town, you'd understand that. And then this is the energy of light after the tunnel, basically. And we have a king has been trampled here. Now, this king is not representing an actual king being trampled. It's representing traditions and energy from how things have always been changing. Things that you thought would never change are actually changing before our eyes. We're seeing a lot of that on the planet right now. And then we have the sun back here in between these two pillars representing your path of glory. That's if you're on your destined path with God. And speaking of God, this is the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor. The Wheel of Fortune is actually, it's saying things are going to improve for you. The wheel is already turning. And it's actually, the wheel is actually three wheels, the past, the present, and the future coming together in synchronicity. And on one of those wheels are the letters of the Hebrew letters for the name of God. And this is talking about a tetragrammaton. A tetragrammaton is a sacred geometric symbol representing perfect order in life, perfect divine order and unity. And so this is talking about God's plan is coming into motion and you're part of that plan, so things are changing in your favor. We do have the Hangman energy. You may have felt like things have been stuck for a while. The Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge until, he wants to gain a different perspective on whatever he's looking at. He wants to see things from a different point of view. And so he hangs upside down from the tree of knowledge until his aura around his head becomes very bright. And then he knows it's time. Okay, now I have a better perspective. I'm going to move forward and take action. And we have the Magician. The Magician is talking about an energetic upgrade coming in for you. As above, so below. You have infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And this is also talking about being able to bring your thoughts into matter and create a beautiful garden on earth. You have all the tools that you need. They're on this bench here. You have to learn how to use them, and you have to know which tool to use in which situation. Now, this is talking about the marriage card, basically. This card's been coming up a lot in the readings. It's almost like there's a lot of love on people's minds. And this is talking, it doesn't have to be marriage, but quite often this does represent marriage. It also represents commitments and partnerships. So if it's not marriage, if that's not, but it looks like this, there could be that possibility if you're wanting romance in your life. But this can also represent a partner in business, or someone that, something, a commitment of some sort, for something that will bring you fulfillment. And so this is basically saying that you have the down payment for the castle, but you still have to make the mortgage payments. Someone popped the question and you said yes, or they said yes, and now it's the time to move forward and plan the wedding, and then after that, put the energy into the relationship itself, so that you can keep it. It becomes more and more fulfilling as you go. And then we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords can quite often represent a breath of fresh air, an aha moment. The element of the page of this page is of the swords. The swords represent the element of air. So this is your thoughts and your mental intelligence and your discipline of your mind. The Page of Swords energy pages would work for the king and queen at a very young age, starting around 7 to 14, depending on how mature they were. You have to remember back then, the life expectancy was like half of what it is now. So people went to work way earlier. Like by 14, it wasn't uncommon for people to be married. And so this energy it would be a real coup to be, accepted as a page for the king and queen. The pages would be responsible for, running errands, and their basic thing was to keep communication going through the palace, through the walls of the palace, and delivering it back and forth and running errands, and that type of energy. This represents some sort of communication or information coming in. And as I said, that could come from within yourself, from your own mind. It could be like where all of a sudden you've been mulling over something like the hangman, and all of a sudden you're doing dishes or something, and woohoo, it's like, I got it, that type of energy. Now this is also in the old days, this would always be a male, and it would be the message would be delivered in person, because that was the only way they had. Nowadays, this easily could represent a female in her masculine energy. Just remembering that the tarot cards are not gender specific. The characters in the tarot are archetypes, and they represent masculine and feminine energy, not necessarily gender. And so these days, we have so many other ways of communicating that they didn't have back then. We could get a phone call, a text message. We could be on FaceTime. We could be on a Zoom call. There's all sorts of ways. This could represent an email coming through, something coming in the mail. What else? It could represent scholarships and documents, that type of energy. Also, maybe you're on social media and someone messages you. There could be an event posted. You attend the event, and next thing you know, you bump into someone, and now you meet someone in person. And with this energy, maybe it's someone that you fall in love with and they fall in love with you. So there's so many possibilities these days. Information comes in very quick, and we have instant access to it. We have the Nine of Swords. So this bottom row, we're talking about where are we at in what's going on in the basics here. So basically there's definitely a transition happening, and I feel it's from this energy, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning. You've been stuck for a while, and but now you feel like you know which way to move. This is definitely an energetic upgrade coming in, and possibly there's information coming in about someone you love. Now, this is the Nine of Swords, represents the energy of a never-ending nightmare. It can represent like crushing boredom, like the same old thing day after day. But in reality, A lot of times we're taught, I know when I went to school, I was taught that the sun is in the middle and then all the planets rotate around the sun like grooves in a record, in the old records. And it's like implying that the energy is exact same. It comes around exactly the same and in perfect circles like this. But in actual fact, it's more like spinning and spiraling and moving. So we're never really in the same place at the same time, but we are always moving. It doesn't feel like we're moving. Like right now, as you're watching this, we're moving quite quickly, actually, but it may feel like we're standing absolutely still. But knowing that in a weird way is sort of comforting. There is no actual Groundhog Day. You might be repeating the same daily routine over and over again, and you might feel bored, or you might feel like a nightmare won't end, but you're never in the same place at the same time. And the energy is also saying that this sometimes represents after this period, and I feel like this is the energy coming in because it's definitely improving. That after being in this kind of energy for a while and being stuck, that it's shifting now. There's a transition happening, and this could represent someone waking up in the wee hours of the morning to a dream that's really, really real feeling. And this month of May, I've noticed my dreams are really wild. Some of them, I wake up and I'm like, whoa, that was a different dream, and different people are in them, and people I haven't seen in years, and it's really because I feel we have 3 significant moon periods this month. We have 2 full moons in one month, and this is referred to as the blue moon. And you know how they have the saying, once in a blue moon? It's because it's a special time when we have a blue moon. It's quite rare. And we're in that energy this month. So I feel like this is a more intuitive month than many, and maybe a little more emotional than a lot of people are used to. Also, I'm going to be doing a reading of that. I'm just finishing up. I have one more reading. Pisces, I didn't forget you. I just ran out of time. Pisces energy. Tomorrow I'm going to do for the end of the month, and I'll do a few random shifts, and then I'll start doing some blue moon energy. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested in what the blue moon is all about. But it definitely is piquing people's intuition at a high level. And the comforter on this bed is saying that, there's cosmic symbols on here, and it's saying the universe has you covered, but you're going to have to leave your comfort zone. You're going to have to get out of bed. And I found what really interesting is, I didn't notice this until a while ago, that on this carvings on this bed frame, there's actually people fighting with swords. And I'm like, yeah, don't sleep on people fighting with swords underneath you. Put some books that are really about, some encyclopedias under there. Absorb that kind of information, energy, not people fighting and then expect to not wake up from nightmares. So this is talking about that energy, though, or sometimes this can represent now the nightmares have stopped and you're getting these insights in your dreams, and possibly maybe the Holy Spirit has come upon you and you've been shown. These are consistent steps of action that you can take to move out of this energy. This energy is changing. You're moving forward. And then look at this. It's like, yes, this is saying this is completing a cycle. As soon as you're able to take those steps, this is saying you've accomplished everything you can in this particular cycle, and it's time to start a new one. So then the Fool would start again at the 0 point, and you begin a new cycle. Now, the Fool it depends on who you are and what your life is like, how many cycles you go on. But this is definitely saying that you've learned all you can from this cycle. You've achieved what you can, and you know it's time to move forward into this new. So you can start moving into, I feel, this more fun energy. And we have, yes, we have the Knight of Wands is coming through. So the Knight of Wands is representing, it's kind of like a grown-up version of the swords, or sorry, the pages. The pages sometimes would end up being put up for knighthood when they turned 21 if they could afford a horse. And, you know, they were still accomplished with the, at the palace. Now, this energy is talking about the Knight of Wands, and he is very passionate. He's a rebel with a cause. He has this big red plume on his helmet, and this is saying that he's pretty fiery. This is Sagittarius energy, the centaur that shoots the bows and arrows up into the stars, and they hit the target, tung, 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 tung. So he's very, this is someone who's very passionate about life. This plume represents, he can be impulsive, but he's learned, as he's matured, he's learned to rein his emotions in and not be so, impulsive, basically. And also this can represent having a bit of a temper. And, you know, these flags on his sleeves are similar to, and the gloves are similar to the innocence of the Fool energy. The Fool also has these tattered sleeves, and it's just representing that you have life experience, and that you can taking the life experience to move forward in a strong way. Now, the horse is representing the energy of, your heart, being heartfelt and passionate. And the pyramids in the background are saying that this person is very adventurous, wants to explore the world, loves to travel, that type of energy. This is also representing the energy of the fiery horse energy that we moved into on the Chinese New Year on February 17th. That energy, the fiery horse energy, is very, very similar to the Sagittarius energy. There's two things that's good to know. Like, impulsive energy is not great to be in this year. When horses get impulsive, you know, you think about a horse getting spooked and they take off and they run and run and run and run, and you're hanging on for dear life. And they could get you killed really easily, or you could really be badly injured. And then when they finally stop, you don't even know where you're at anymore. And it could take you some time to get back. So this energy is saying, this energy just naturally makes you want to set high goals. But it's saying, don't set your goals so high without giving yourself time to reasonably achieve what you want to achieve, or you could burn yourself out. It's kind of that energy of burning the candle at both ends. And also watch your temper and impulsive behavior, because it's not your friend in this type of energy, and will be in the year of the horse. I believe it's until February 6th of 2027. And look here's the Fool. You see how he also has these red kind of tattered sleeves, and here he is. He has very little baggage, off on a new adventure. So this is you having had this energetic upgrade. And you notice the Magician here is pointing to saying the energetic upgrade. Part of this energetic upgrade is this new passion for discovery, this new desire to tackle, get up in the morning, not exhausted, but tackling your day with passion, and having like a really good attitude, and feeling like innocent and free, and maybe a little bit playful like a child. He's not even really watching where he's going, but his little dog here is going to bark soon and stop him from, this is representing being able to having total faith in God's plan. It's sitting on that energy, and that, not having a lot of cares, because you are in God's plan, and you're anticipating a really good journey here. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Queen of Wands energy is similar to this energy. It's the Wands energy. This is talking about someone who is generally happy. That's the natural character. The sunflowers represent, the sunflowers follow the sun. And that energy is like looking up to God and looking at God's plan. She has this veil behind her, and this energy is representing the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical worlds, and between the ancestors that have crossed the veil and us here in the 3D. And they sometimes do come in through our dreams. Quite often that's when our ancestors try and get in touch with us, through our dreams. And so you may have been experiencing a bit of that with this energy this month. She has this little black cat here. This cat is sitting still, not like my cat. My cat has the zoomies. She's flying around here. Are you flying around the house? Yeah, you're running all over the place. She's flying off the furniture. So creating havoc. What are you doing? Are you all excited? Okay. She says, I can't contain myself. She can feel this energy. She loves the readings. Normally she'll sit on my lap and purr, but she keeps getting down and she's just running. And so this is talking about happy energy. She follows her happiness. The reason she is also happy is because she's good at coming up with creative solutions to any problem. She uses her intuition and her logic. Her wand is made of wood, and it's representing that energy of action, ancestors' deep roots, and the offshoots on her wooden wand here are talking about the descendants. So this is having a naturally happy disposition. She's considered to be one of the sexiest queens, and she doesn't need protection from fire because she commands it. She sets the tone. We have the energy here of the Hierophant. A Hierophant is to bring justice down from the spiritual realm down to the physical. And there's some sort of justice, it appears, that needs to be coming in here. And the Hierophant has his hand in the form of a blessing, which is saying that when this truth, when this justice comes through, it will be a blessing for you. And, this is Sagittarius energy. This is Sagittarius energy. This is for sure fire sign energy, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. So there's a lot of fire here in this reading, and movement, and wanting to move forward, like ready for new. The Hierophant represents, like, if it's bringing that justice down from the spiritual realm into the physical. So this, if you're religious, this would represent, like the representatives of your religion. So if you're a rabbi, a priest, this could represent popes, cardinals, bishops, gurus, that type of energy. If you're more a spiritual person, this would represent meditation and prayer, and going directly to source without the intermediary. So this would represent God's judgment here, and then bringing this down to the earth. So that's what these two monks are getting ready for instruction of how to carry out the justice. And this is talking about traditional structure in the physical. So this can be talking about courts. You might be in some sort of legal action, some energy like that. Maybe that's what's been keeping you up at night here. There's some sort of justice coming in. And yeah, look at the mental prison. So this is representing someone that has been having a hard time making up their mind. They know that a decision has to be made, but they're having difficulty making that. They have a blindfold on, which represents that they possibly don't want to see the whole picture. They're tired of looking at it. Also, being duty bound here with this binding can sometimes represent there's no good, they can't think of any good action here to take or to step out of this, because this possibly involves people that they care about, that they love. You notice she has her back to her castle in the background here. So this can be representing leaving her family, her home, that type of energy. This sometimes, these, swords represent thoughts that she has had to work through. And I feel at one point there was way more water here. The water represents emotion. And she is taking a step forward now. And she's got this one sword in front of her and the rest are all behind her. So I think when she started, there was way more water here, way more emotion. She still does have her left foot in a pool of water, but it's just a puddle, and it looks like... it's shallow. Now, I'm not saying her emotions are shallow or your emotions are shallow, but there's less emotion that there was there when she first started working on this problem. And I feel like she's come to a decision that it's time to move forward. She's going to have to. And quite often this represents having to make a very difficult decision about people you love, people you feel duty bound to, but knowing you have to make the decision. And this can also sometimes represent the thoughts of people behind her back. And then we have, here we have it, the Three of Swords. So this is saying, yes, the energy is talking about, and you see here we have the Magician pointing to rebel with the cause, and I feel it's bringing in some information to clear this energy for you. If you're in this energy, this is saying help is on the way. That this is almost over. There's been some heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. I mean, this is a scary card. It's talking about, you know, 3 swords in someone's heart. So this can represent a lot of heartache and a need for an apology or forgiveness of some sort. This sometimes represents, in matters of like romantic love, third-party involvement that has separated a couple. It can also represent the energy of your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind plugging into the heart after it heals. I feel like this energy is coming through. As she's working through this, she is coming to a decision, and I feel that this is the decision coming forward with that, and she's going to, she's made up her mind now, and she's ready to move forward. Now, this can sometimes speak of harsh words being spoken. It can be gossip, slander. It can be even perjury in a court of law. It's energy sometimes of a fear to speak your truth, of being afraid of the truth, of hearing it, that type of energy. And let's see, there's a definite need for healing. Now, this could be something that happened when you were younger. This is talking about having the strength and the courage to face your shadow side. And, you know, your subconscious mind is, it has a lot of information from when you were a child. And this information, it could be like something happened and you don't really know the whole truth of it. You don't remember very much when you're young, before the age of kindergarten. So something may have happened to you, and whatever you were told was the truth about what happened is maybe not the truth. And you're maybe having dreams about it, and you just know there's something more to it. And that this is digging really deep, to be able to have the courage to face whatever this is, and to face your shadow side. So this young woman is reaching into this red lion, and the red lion represents your, you know, gut fears, like your raw fear, from probably from all the time since you were a young child. And it's about facing it. And she has like the infinite potential above her head, just like the magician. And this energy is talking about, she's digging deep into this lion's mouth, which would be a very scary thing to do. This is a mature lion, and you know, it's male, but yet it's being submissive and allowing this. So this is talking about her fears subsiding, and I feel that's part of this energy as well. Something that happened possibly in your childhood is not necessarily how you remember it, and maybe you're starting to dream about it. There's some sort of justice that needs to come in regarding that energy. And sometimes when we're traumatized as a child, we can lose the memory, disassociate, and lose memory of what happened. We have the Knight of Swords. I haven't seen the Knight of Swords for a while now. This is a grown-up Page of Swords. So this is talking possibly that something that happened between the age of 7 to 14, or 14 to 21, before, you know, like high school age. And this information is coming through now, I feel like. And this is almost like panic energy. Now, the Knight of Swords is either running from this person coming into your life with the love, or they're running away from that, or who are they running to? It's hard to say. It doesn't really show who they're running to so much. It could be to the Hierophant to give information. The thing about the Knight of Swords is sometimes it can represent an energy of a fool rushing in. We can only see half his sword, and so this could mean he only has half the information, or it's not 100% clear. We can't see the point of his sword, and maybe he can't either see the point of his information. He's got a big red flag on the back of his helmet, and he also is like, you know, really pushing this horse hard. And this is talking about panic, anxiety, that type of energy. They're running against the wind, full tilt, and through barren land. So this is, he's either running from something or running towards something, trying to get there before someone else. This is sometimes considered like an investigation going on. Sometimes this can represent private detectives or, actual detectives, FBI, that type of energy, running towards the Hierophant to deliver some information or to someone. And then we have the King. Oh, here we have it. We have the King of Swords. So this energy is talking about someone who earns their living using their mental capacity, their intelligence, and someone who's educated. They're not someone that physically works with their hands. This would be more like, this could be politicians that are good with their words, words that express your thoughts. It could represent a best-selling author. It could be a surgeon, a psychiatrist, a veterinarian, a dentist, those kinds of energies. Possibly this is someone who is in the legal field. So this could represent higher up because this is a king. So if it's a politician, this would be a politician that's high up. President, prime minister, people in the Senate, Congress, people who make laws like that have some clout. Maybe ministers in the federal government. This energy is talking about someone who's very good with words. It can be like speakers in social media influencers. This also could represent engineers, researchers, people that have earned their living using their mind. If it's, this feels like it could be part of legalities, some sort of legalities, because some information, he's running, and it looks like he's running to this lawyer or court energy with some information regarding, we don't know yet what. It feels like it's whatever is kept you hanging here and in this energy, because it's sitting right on it, on this heartbreak. This could also be saying, hey, this person now has someone coming into their life, and they've healed their heart, and they're talking about getting married. And if they marry, maybe this is saying, he's telling the King of Swords, if maybe this is your energy here, the Queen of Wands, and that's representing you're coming back into your own happy, natural energy and out of this energy, and now for sure, and that you're starting to remember what happened in your childhood. And for whatever reason, this is a major problem for these people. And then look at this, we have the Emperor. So the Emperor is like representing someone who's an authority figure, someone very high up. This would represent, if this would be Supreme Court, and this would be court. When I look at it from that perspective. So the Emperor is like all four kings rolled into one person. He wears his armor underneath his robe, representing that he is ready for any challenge at any moment. And he's very wise, and people go to him for, he's one, I feel like, at the top here. So I feel like whoever this is, now this Emperor could also be someone that this energy here, this could be an investigator going to the lawyer, and the lawyer then going to the court system, to the authority and saying they had, like someone here, and like, this is what's happened. And yeah, the truth is coming out, and for whatever reason, it's very stressful for a lot of people. Sometimes just looking at this energy, the Hangman can be, about not being stuck and not being able to leave. This can represent, like this worry and concern over that. The end of a cycle, if they've been up to something. And look at the Magician is saying, here's the information from the Knight of Wands coming in, all passionate about what's going on, a rebel with a cause. That your energy is stepping out of this energy, and the heartbreak is healing, And this sometimes can represent not just a mental prison, but actual physical prison. And the emperor would be the person maybe that, makes sure maybe this is representing the Hierophant energy. And so the spiritual and the court system here now. And this person is in charge of making sure that justice prevails. Perhaps this lawyer knows something and he's gone to the emperor, and or he's part of this information, or maybe he was part of this information and now he's cutting a deal or something. There's definitely some sort of legalities going on here. A lot of conflict. So this is talking about cutthroat conflict. And that cutthroat conflict is causing people who took a risk, definitely. And they did not think that your energy was going to heal from this. They did not think there's any way that you were going to heal. And this energy's been coming in a lot. And I feel it's because these people, I just feel like that whatever this energy is about, they're used to putting people into this kind of energy. And it's generally about money, but I don't see any pentacles here. Like, is there pentacles here in this reading? Do you see a single pentacle? I don't see a single pentacle. So this isn't about money. This is a spiritual war, I feel like. It's way deeper than that. It goes beyond money. It goes on more around power. And maybe there's a lot of people involved that will lose power. This is like talking cutthroat, they've taken major risks to be here. And I feel this is something that's been going on for a while. Wow, okay, so let's keep going here. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Now we have the Pentacle energy. So the Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful, and she's known for being so. She can make something out of nothing, and does. But I'm wondering, why is she in this energy if she comes from generational wealth? What happened to all the pentacles? So because the pentacles are representing health, wealth, and happiness on the planet. And of course, a big part of that is money. But it's not just talking about money. It's talking about lifestyle. And yeah, the magician, how the magician is pointing that the energy from above, and this is talking on a physical level, for sure. This is talking about the rebel with the cause, the prison, like actual jail, and someone who has the authority to put the law in order, sitting on this Hierophant energy. And then going back down, the emperor making sure that whoever did this goes to jail. This rebel with the cause energy could have been creating a garden with something that wasn't theirs to use. That's the only way I can really see this at this time. And so the Queen of Pentacles, she prefers quality over quantity. Yeah, she's resourceful and everything, but she comes from generational wealth. And so I feel like that when this card comes in, it may mean something happened in your family. If you were supposed to receive some inheritance or whatever, your family might have lost it in a war or something, a couple generations ago, some sort of energy like that. It would be different for different people. But if if you have it could be something about your childhood. Something could have happened. There could have been a settlement. This sometimes can represent people who, find out that they're not, that they're adopted, that they actually aren't a child of the parents that they have, that kind of energy. And then look at this, we have the Queen of Swords coming in. So that's 3 queens. And the Queen of Swords is talking about having discernment, and she's sitting right at the top. Now, she's considered the coldest of all the 4 queens, because she's been there, done that, has the t-shirt. She has her left hand out. She's saying, I'm willing to receive, but you better come in correct to me, or don't bother coming in at all. This energy is, she has her head above the clouds. She has clarity about what she's going to put up with and what she's not going to tolerate in her life anymore. She's done with the bullshit. That's the energy that she's in. And you can kind of see this tree down here almost looks like this tree here. So I feel that this definitely has something to do with this energy. And sometimes when the three queens show up, and I don't see any empress energy here, it can sometimes represent an energy of a lot of gossip, like, almost like if you take it to a global level, leaders connecting and talking and lots happening, like what we're seeing in the world right now, basically. And so this energy, we have transition coming in. The Queen of Wands is naturally cheerful and happy and optimistic, but there's some sort of Hierophant energy. There's some sort of justice that needs to be served here. And the Emperor, I feel, is the one who's responsible for making sure that happens on the physical. The Hierophant is someone who's like it. It's almost like it has something to do with some sort of religion or I don't know, some sort of energy like that. This could be, there's definitely cutthroat energy, risky energy. And then a lot of gossip, a lot of talk happening right now. The Queen of Swords has overcome, I feel, this heartbreak or whatever, and she's made her decision. She's sitting at the top here now. And she's not in the mood for being resourceful anymore. She's like, give me my money, what you took from me. Well, that was rightfully mine. And I feel that this energy is coming from the people that took it, panicking now, or from the investigators coming in saying, okay, we've got the information, Emperor. If this is some sort of, lawyers or whatever coming in with the information, okay, we have what we need. This is talking about, this is, I feel, the Queen's energy, having the strength to face this, whatever this is. And the worry is now over. Like whatever you were dreaming about or whatever, I feel like you have some of the truth anyway of what happened. And this is like a breath of fresh air. So then it sort of opens your heart back up again. You're able to heal because this is a horrible position to be in when a whole bunch of other people are talking behind your back and everybody knows what happened to you when you were a child and it was really bad, whatever it was, because everybody's talking and you're finally finding out what happened, basically. I just did a reading, I think it was just for Aquarius, that it was kind of like some childhood issues that, like a lot of times those can hold us back in ways that we don't understand until we get the truth of the situation. So this is coming out, whatever this is. There's a lot of energy like this, like betrayals and that type of energy coming out. And I feel a lot of this is because of Uranus is in Neptune. And Uranus is in the sign of Gemini, and it has not been in the sign of Gemini since 1941 to 1949. And it just moved in there about maybe 3 weeks ago now. And every day there's another truth coming out. You may be noticing this. It's like, okay, I thought after the files were done and then we had, the war starting up and all this energy all around the world. There's so much going on and the rug's being pulled out from underneath everybody, left, right, but every day it seems like, whoa, there's like major shifts happening. And it's kind of like the people at the top that you never thought would do the things they're doing are, and you never thought even if they did that they would ever have to face any justice, but they are. And I feel like this is because on the spiritual realm, there's been a line drawn, and I felt this energy coming in with that Gemini, Uranus and Gemini energy. I felt it like big time. Like it was like the line's been drawn. Choose a side now. When you've had lots of opportunities to get on the right side of justice. So if you haven't, I feel like karma's going to hit now. And on a spiritual level, like really heavy energy. Sometimes it can be quite, and you may be feeling this. It's like all of a sudden you'll just be feeling like, whoa, it just feels so heavy all of a sudden, and then it kind of eases off. There's an ebb and flow to it. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who would like clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy. I do hope this was beneficial for you. I feel it's talking about a lot of the energy that's happening on the planet right now. And like, if you're feeling this energy, don't be, like, you're not alone. A lot of people are feeling this energy. But it's saying you need to stay strong. Like, you need to be willing to face fears and be able to really go after the truth right now, because it's going to hit anyway. So you may as well be ahead of the curve, if you know what I'm saying. That kind of energy. Yeah, and don't be careful of the information that's out there. Also, it's saying there's a lot of gossip and slander and that kind of energy. There's a lot of AI. So just, do your research, basically. Yeah, a lot of people going on foolish journeys, having expectations that they're going to mess up God's plan. It's not going to happen. God's plan, I think God just has a lot of patience, and maybe not so much anymore. Expectations always create limitations. So this is talking about going on a foolhardy journey, like being on the up and up, making sure that you stay on the right side of justice, and also be careful of your associations. This is death on death. So this is basically saying this transition is definitely, it's on a personal level for everybody, I feel, and it's also on a global level. And so this oracle is Tales from the Vector, and I started this oracle back in 2007. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. This is, I've finished 64 paintings, and now I am working on bringing it out eventually. Right now I'm playing with it a lot because I do have a website that has some information, and it has a gallery with all the paintings. There's 64 of them, as I said. So the numbers on these cards represent how the paintings are in the gallery, how they're listed, and I will put them in the order that they appear here in the description box below. So if you're interested, you can take a look. It's kind of an interesting oracle. And yeah, so this is talking about not being on, and it came flying out. This isn't a good time to be foolish. It's not a great time to be out there trying to think you're smarter than God kind of energy, because a lot of people have been getting away with a lot of shift for a long time, for generations and decades and generations. And now it's like, no, it was more because we were given the opportunity. We have choice. We're given the opportunity to make strong choices and to turn things around in our life. And if we don't choose to do that, well, I feel like the shift is hitting the fan here, and we're just starting to see it. Uranus is in Gemini for 8 years, and I've been saying this energy feels to me like, truth a day keeps the devil at bay. It's like changing. The energy is shifting big time. And we have the Hermit here. The Hermit is, he climbs the mountain to isolate because he's been through a dark night of the soul. And he realized there's transition coming in, and he needs to make some changes. This energy has to be dealt with. And so this is talking about going to the top of the mountain. When his lantern fills with the light of the North Star, then he knows that he can come down from the mountain and take action that's strong after he's, asked for empowerment from source energy, from God, from the Holy Spirit, from prayer, and going inward. And, this is about wanting to be the best version of you that you can be, manifesting in that way on the earth. You can anticipate the journey if you're, it'll be an energetic upgrade if you're on the right side of justice. If not, the justice is going to hit. And I feel like this is, like we just had the moon on the 16th. And this energy, we also have 2 full moons. And I feel like this is a real intuitive time. If you're getting a lot of insights, like, if you're getting a lot of like aha moments, write them down, because you think you won't forget, but we often do. And pay attention to your dreams. Jot them down if you remember them, because it could be giving you information that could be like really empowering to start a new business or move forward in a certain way. It could be a trend that's way ahead of its time. That type of energy. This is because of this Aquarius, this energy of Uranus is ruling over the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius energy is about experimenting with small experiments to see if we can shift things into a better place. So instead of the old energy of, okay, well, we're going to do our best to fix something that's already in place. This is like, let's just do let's, instead of thinking about it, let's do an experiment. It doesn't have to be a big one, and let's see if the situation becomes better through just a small experiment. Observe what happens, and then if it is better, then we do more of that, and if it's not better, we don't, and if it's worse, we stop. That type of energy. And I feel that this is definitely Uranus being in Gemini energy. Quite often they're accused of being like two people, like changing their mind in a split second. But that's because they have a very fast mind, and they are very adaptable. They're one of the most adaptable signs. And so this energy is, it can have some really good, it can be stressful for a lot of people. A lot of people prefer not to have change, and it can be irritating. Change can be really irritating. Like if you just figured out how to use your phone and then they update it, and you have to figure out how to use it again. It's that kind of energy, only on a real life scale energy. It's very similar. So this mother's worry is one of the major accomplices in causing problems in the world. If a mother can't see a bright future for her family, then who's going to see it? The thing is that this energy is also, I feel, talking about Mother Earth. A lot of people, this card hasn't been coming in as much, and now it's coming in again since the situation in Iran has started. This card's been showing up again. People more concerned about what's happening on the planet, scared. Capricorn energy is responsibility, possibilities and challenges, ambition, being responsible with your energy. That type of Saturn and Neptune are sitting together in Aries, and that just happened last month also. So that energy is causing a lot of fluctuations in people's temperament. But the good thing is the Saturn and Neptune were like on top of each other, and now they're in the same sign, but they're kind of separating a little bit, so it's not as intense. So you may be noticing this kind of energy can be like you just feel burdened with responsibilities. Like you just finish one task, and then something breaks, or something comes in the mail. Now I got to deal with this, or that type of energy. The Libra is talking about being a mature adult, and you're ready to you're ready for these commitments like marriage and that. Sometimes we get into those commitments not realizing like that marriage is a real challenge. It can be very challenging. Raising a family, especially during these times, it can be very challenging. And so maybe having expectations about how it would just be easy or whatever. It's more challenging than in the past in some ways, and way easier than some. So, it's like that for every generation. Some people think that one generation has it better than the other, but actually, a lot of the time, every generation has its own shift that they have to deal with. And then we have the superstar energy. And the superstar energy is talking about using harmony, like harmonious words, being able to, that's one thing the King of Swords is very aware of, is words can be used as weapons, and they can also be used as to uplift people. So it's saying that. And this is saying this energy is coming in. It's already happening on the spiritual realm. Sometimes this also can represent, if this is an investigation going on, this can be like people are going to be arrested now. It's that type of energy coming through. So, and on a spiritual level, it's saying, yes, the Hierophant is being sent, like that energy is coming down now. We're starting to see that happening on the planet. And sometimes the justice isn't in the courts. It's not necessarily that way. It's people that thought they were getting away, and they were getting away with stuff for a long time, and then all of a sudden they're in the news and it's like, nope, they're not getting away with it anymore. It's that type of energy, and it's really blatant. It's like, I don't know, like I could, you can go on the news for like 5 minutes and it's enough for me. I only like to get enough to kind of get an idea what's happening during the day, and go with that energy, like just so that you have some sort of idea. Maybe there's something at the top there that could give you some insight into what's happening today. That kind of energy. I do hope you've enjoyed this. You've received some benefit out of it. Please give it a like and comment. It really helps me build my channel. I really appreciate it very much. And also consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. I'll be back with another daily reading again for you tomorrow. Bye for now.